Welcome to the Cell Soul Source podcast. I'm Jackie, a chiropractor, yogi, and Akashic reader, and I'm here to activate healing in light workers of all kinds so they can serve from an empowered place and fulfill their purpose with ease, awe, and wonder. If you are familiar with human design, you'll know that gate 20 is the gate of contemplation and the gate of metamorphosis. And I have that in my personality sun, so it's a very prominent feature for me. Metamorphosis is something that I'm very familiar with, and contemplation is also something I'm very familiar with. I think very deeply about topics. I am not your girl for superficial stuff. I want to go straight to the depths. I want to go straight to the nitty gritty, because I really want to have these deep and contemplative conversations. And I've been thinking back to where I was and where I am now, and the exact steps I took to get there. And I can see exactly where I built in the skills, the muscles, the lessons that I've had, the experience and the knowledge that I've gained along the way. And I wanted to share with you that sometimes we can get caught in this trap thinking that it's just the way I am. I was born like this. It's my personality. It runs in my family. My mom was like that. My grandmother was like that. And particularly when we've been a certain way for a long, long time, it can certainly appear that that is just how you are. But when I think back to how I was and how I am now, it's clear that it's something that can be built and it's something that can be practiced. So I have anchored in the self-worth, and that looked like being able to charge prices that reflected my experience and my expertise, and being able to do that in a way that didn't freak my nervous system out, that didn't send me into a spiral of dysregulation for weeks. That looks like me working in the energy of ease. I am relaxed while I do my work. I feel relaxed even when I'm putting effort in. So there's a saying in yoga that you can have effortful effort or effortless effort. And so that for me is the energy of ease. I'm putting in effortless effort. This is what's allowed me to be able to back myself when I make huge pivots at home, at work. I never used to be able to back myself. That's something I've built in. I've got capacity now. And that looks like I can hold, bigger transformations. I can hold bigger stories. I can hold more volume. I can hold deeper things because my capacity is more. I've expanded that. I feel more grounded and connected and supported by the seen and the unseen when I allowed that in. And I've been able to build the muscle so that I have my own back. And it's not from the energy of, I don't need anybody, which is a defensive thing. It's from that grounded, connected place of certainty. I have my own back. I am resourceful and I will figure this out. No matter the challenge around me, I can do this. And honestly, that that never used to be the case. If I paint the picture of what I used to be like, I used to second guess myself all the time. I used to check and double check. Have I got this right? I used to think about all the scenarios, all of the possible outcomes. How can I mitigate it so that I can get the outcome that I'm comfortable with? I used to worry about every decision. I used to almost be paralyzed to make the decision because I was so scared I would get it wrong. I was driven by the energy of fear. And then when I did make the decision, I wasted so much energy worrying about it. Have I done the right thing? Have I said the right thing? Was the timing right? I used to run everything I said and did through about 400 filters before I ever did anything. Can you imagine how much that slowed me down and how exhausting that was? And I used to do everything from the energy of pushing and forcing. So I know how to hustle. I know how to grind it out. I know how to push myself past the tiredness and the exhaustion. And that was the old paradigm. And I knew the rules of that game. And actually, I was quite successful at it. It left me in a horrible mess, but from the outside, I was successful at that game. So I know I can do that. The question is, can I now do it from the energy of ease? And this is how I did it. That was one of the first questions I asked myself. That whole game left me completely uninspired and feeling unfulfilled. I wasn't excited to go to work. The results, the transformations, they were a bit meh. I felt like I was working with one hand tied behind my back because I was trying to fit myself into a box, and yet I had all these skills that I'd picked up along the way. But I could never fit those in a 20-minute appointment. So I was trying to cram as much value as I could into every appointment so that the person on the other side could benefit from the experience, so that they could experience the results that they were after. But it was all very superficial. And as I said in the beginning, superficial is not my jam. I want to go deep. I want to hear the whole story. I want to know what I'm dealing with. I want to be able to pick up the pattern in it all. You just can't do that in 20 minutes. And then in order to share, the real skills and the real nuggets that are going to create the transformation, you can't share those in 20 minutes either. And so this is what I decided to do at the time. I decided I was going to play small. I was going to withdraw as much of my energy as I could from work because it was just draining me, leaving me depleted, unfulfilled, resenting it. So I would take as much energy as I could from that. I would show up, I would do what I had to do, I would condense my days, I would work fewer days, and that would free the energy for me to do the things that I really wanted to do. And this might surprise you. The thing that I really wanted to do was grow my own vegetables. So it doesn't have to be a huge monumental thing, but I really wanted to grow my own vegetables. I wanted to learn how to preserve, ferment, forage. I had a huge calling back to the energy of the earth, a huge calling back to how can I live in sync with her rhythms and her cycles? How can I be a better steward of the earth? How can I honor her more fully? And I believed that I couldn't have both. I couldn't have that life, that wholesome, natural, cyclical life, and have a fulfilling job that lit me up from the inside. I believed that I had to withdraw my energy from one to put it into the other. And these are the steps that allowed me to have both. This is what I want to inspire in you. You can have both. So now I'm doing the things that matter to me. I'm foraging and, growing my own. And I am so fulfilled in my purpose and enthusiastic and excited by the fact that the work I get to do in the world changes the world. The impact that we get to have as healers can change the world. How cool is that? What an honor is that? And these are the steps that have allowed me to rise from the version I was that was about to play small to the version that you see now that's stretching myself. I'm stretching myself and getting bigger and bigger. And as I allowed that in my life, my purpose became clearer and the vision became bigger. When the vision dropped in, I actually assumed there had been a mistake. It was so big it couldn't possibly be mine. And I was nowhere near ready to fulfill it. But these are the steps that allowed me to expand and grow and attain a level of self-mastery that now I can say, okay, I can hold the vision. I can't quite execute it yet, but I can hold it and I can see the steps that I need to take to get there. Can you imagine the previous version of me being able to say that? Oh, will I get into trouble? Oh, I'm coloring outside the lines. Oh, I better play small. And this is what happens when you take these steps. You get to fulfill more of your potential. You get to grow and expand. You get to feature in the story. And I'm guessing if you're listening to that, you're listening to this, you're a very small piece of the story right now. And this is your permission slip. You get to be the biggest part of the story. And the more you reclaim yourself, the bigger the impact you'll make for your people, and the more change you will create in the world. So I'm sharing these steps inside Rise. It is a free masterclass for the healer and the light worker who also wants to work from an empowered place, from that energy of ease, feeling relaxed with capacity, and who also wants to change the world through their work. I keep saying to people, my life is a magic carpet ride, and I am inviting you to hop on. This is where I started. These are the steps I started with, and I'm spilling the tea inside Rise. So I will leave the link for you. Please jump into that masterclass and let me share with you how you can also step into this. If you have a vision in your heart, I'm going to show you exactly how to tap into that so that you can also become an empowered healer. I look forward to seeing you inside Rise. I am rooting for you. We rise together. If you feel called, please rate and review. I would really appreciate that.